Somewhere in the shadows of the world we think we know, there are people living lives we can barely imagine. Children who can see clearly underwater, without goggles. Men who climb trees like walking on air. Women who wear pain and ash as a badge of pride. These aren't myths or legends. They're real, hidden deep in the forests, deserts, and islands of our planet. There are tribes who've mastered ways of living that seem almost supernatural. But behind each strange custom or breathtaking ability lies a story of survival, identity, and the unbreakable bond between humans and nature. Today, we're taking you into the most remote corners of Earth to meet 10 tribes whose powers push the limits of what we thought the human body and spirit could do. The Sea Children who see underwater. Imagine you're diving into the warm, turquoise waters off the coast of Thailand. No goggles, no gear, just your bare eyes, open to the salt and the light. Most of us would see nothing but blur, maybe feel the sting of salt. But not them, not the Moken children. These are the sea nomads of Southeast Asia, born to the rhythm of the tides, raised entirely on boats called kabang, and trained from the time they can walk to read the ocean like a book. By the time they're 6 or 7, they can see underwater with perfect clarity, without a mask. They've taught their eyes to change shape, like dolphins or seals. They dive deep, holding their breath for minutes, eyes wide open, searching for clams, crabs, or sea cucumbers, darting between coral like little mermaids. Scientists were baffled. Swedish researchers studied them for years before concluding it wasn't magic. It was training, muscle control, adaptation. These kids can see twice as clearly underwater as any other child tested, and they learn it in just a few weeks. But perhaps what's most astonishing isn't the biology, it's the harmony. The way they move through water isn't just skill, it's poetry. They belong there, not as visitors, but as part of the sea itself. In a world racing toward modernity, the Moken children remain a quiet miracle, living proof of how adaptable and how deeply connected to nature the human body can be. Tattooed to survive. The women of Apatani High in the remote valleys of Arunachal Pradesh, India. There lives a tribe whose women once carried protection, not in weapons, but in ink and wood. They're called the Apatani. To the unknowing eye, the first thing you'll notice are the bold facial tattoos and the large wooden plugs piercing both sides of the nose. But what might seem shocking today was once a necessary shield. According to legend, the women of the Apatani were so admired, so strikingly beautiful, that raiders from neighboring tribes would regularly kidnap them. So their people did something unthinkable. They made beauty disappear. At age 10, girls were tattooed with thick black lines across their faces. Pig fat mixed with soot was rubbed into open skin. Wooden nose plugs, called Japin Hulo, were inserted to change their appearance. It was painful, deliberate, and it worked. But something changed over time. What began as a disguise became tradition, and that tradition became pride. Today, the younger generation no longer follows the practice, but the elders, the grandmothers and great-aunts, still wear these markings like a badge of strength. They walk the village paths with quiet dignity, each line on their face a testament to the resilience of women who turned fear into power and made survival into art. The warrior people who chase rain. In the vast, sunburned plains of East Africa, where the land cracks underfoot and the horizon seems endless, lives a people who have followed the same rhythm for centuries. The Maasai, warriors, herders, rain chasers. Stretching across Kenya and Tanzania, the Maasai are known for their striking red robes, tall stature, and fierce spirit. But their real strength lies not in weapons, it lies in their endurance. From the time they are young, Maasai boys walk for miles under the brutal sun, guiding cattle across savannas in search of fresh grass. They don't just raise livestock, they live in symbiosis with them. Milk, blood, and meat from their beloved cows make up most of their diet. To them, cattle aren't just animals, they're currency, they're life. And then there's the dance, Aduadumu. You've probably seen it in photographs. Young warriors leaping straight into the air, again and again, as if gravity doesn't apply. But this isn't just for show. The higher they jump, the more respect they earn, especially from potential brides. It's a test of strength, rhythm, and stamina, forged through years of walking, running, surviving. But the trials go deeper. Boys become men through initiation ceremonies that involve enduring pain without flinching. No anesthesia, no tears. It's not just about physical toughness, it's about mastering fear. Even today, Maasai families still walk 30, 40, even 50 kilometers in a single day, tracking rain clouds, chasing life across the dry lands. In a world of speed and screens, they remind us that strength isn't always loud. Sometimes, it's quiet, persistent, and built one step at a time across the dust. The Aghori, living among the dead. On the burning riverbanks of India, where funeral pyres crackle and the smoke of death drifts into the night, lives a tribe that most people fear to even speak of, the Aghori. To outsiders, they seem like ghosts, draped in ashes, adorned with bones, meditating among the dead. But for the Aghori, death is not the end. It's the beginning of truth. They believe that everything in this world, even decay, even rot, is sacred. To reach spiritual freedom, they must strip away all fear, all shame, all illusions. So they do what most of us would never dare. They live among corpses. They sleep in cremation grounds. They drink from human skulls and smear the ashes of the dead across their bodies. And yes, some have even consumed flesh from the dead. It's not madness, it's a radical devotion. By confronting what society fears most, death, filth, the untouchable, they believe they become truly untouchable. Free from ego, free from judgment, free from the illusion of separateness. There are only a few hundred Aghori left today, wandering quietly along the Ganges. You might mistake them for beggars, but behind those hollow eyes lies a spiritual mission few could ever understand. They don't seek followers, they seek oneness, with life, with death, with the divine. And to them, that path begins where the rest of us turn away. Whispers in the snow, the Sami of the Arctic. Far above the Arctic Circle, where winter swallows the sun and the silence is broken only by the crunch of snow under boots, lives a people who've learned to survive not by conquering the cold, but by listening to it, the Sami. For over 7,000 years, these indigenous reindeer herders have called the frozen wilderness of northern Scandinavia home. Their days are spent tracking herds across vast white tundras, through snowstorms and sub-zero nights where most would lose their way, or their lives. But the Sami don't get lost. They read the land like language. They have over 200 words for snow and ice, not just white or powdery, but precise descriptions. Crusted over layers, snow that hides thin ice, flurries that fall sideways with the wind. Their knowledge is survival. Their footsteps are memory. And their voices are bridges. They practice joik, an ancient form of song, half chant, half call, passed down through generations. A joik isn't just a melody, it's a way to speak to the animals, to the ancestors, to each other, across mountains, through snowstorms, even in total darkness. Each reindeer has its own song, each person too. And when the nights stretch for weeks without sunlight and the stars seem to press down from above, the Sami don't retreat, they adapt. They build shelters from reindeer hide. They navigate by starlight, by wind patterns, by the way snowflakes settle on the ground. They whisper through the storm with music instead of words. In a world obsessed with progress and speed, the Sami remain grounded, not in technology, but in something deeper, rhythm, instinct, and a bond with the land that feels almost spiritual. The Greek blood of the Himalayas. High in the windswept mountains of Ladakh, where the air grows thin and time feels ancient, there lives a small community that doesn't quite look like their neighbors. Pale skin, hazel eyes, sharp, angular features. They are called the Brakpa, and some say their roots trace all the way back to Greece. Legend has it, they are descendants of soldiers from Alexander the Great's army, who stayed behind after his conquest of India over 2,000 years ago. Whether myth or truth, the mystery lingers in every face, every ritual, every whispered story passed down through generations. But the Brakpa are more than their ancestry. They are survivors, mountain people, thriving at altitudes where most can't even catch their breath. Here, where oxygen is scarce and winters are cruel, they've adapted over centuries. Their lungs have grown strong. Their blood holds more oxygen. Their bodies know how to endure. They grow apples and walnuts in terraced fields that cling to the slopes, coaxing life from land that seems barren. And in the depths of winter, when snow buries the valleys, they descend with their animals to lower ground, only to return again when the ice melts and the highland pastures call. To preserve their heritage, they've kept strict endogamy, marrying only within the community, guarding their bloodline like a living archive. To outsiders, it may seem extreme. To them, it's identity, it's belonging. In a remote corner of the Himalayas, the Brakpa continue to walk the line between legend and reality, a people shaped by wind, stone, and a lineage that refuses to fade. Sky villages of the Korowai tribe. Deep in the rainforests of Papua, Indonesia, where sunlight barely touches the jungle floor, there is a people who live not on the ground, but in the sky, the Korowai. They build their homes 150 feet above the earth, perched in the treetops like wooden nests swaying in the wind. No nails, no metal, no modern tools, just vines, bark, instinct, and generations of knowledge passed from father to son. From up there, the world looks different, safer, far from the floods, the snakes, the biting insects, and in older times, far from rival clans. Their tree houses aren't novelties, they're lifelines. Large enough to hold entire families, strong enough to withstand storms, and high enough to spot danger before it comes. And the way they get there? They climb. Bare hands, bare feet, straight up trunks that look impossible. To them, gravity is a suggestion. Until the 1970s, the Korowai had no contact with the outside world. They believed they were the only people on Earth. Every skill they have, from building in the canopy to tracking prey through dense undergrowth, was born from pure survival. They hunt with bows and spears. They fish by hand. They know hundreds of edible plants and which tree sap heals wounds or keeps bugs away. To the modern world, they might seem primitive, but to witness them moving through the trees, building homes among the clouds, is to realize something deeper. They're not behind. They've simply chosen a different direction, one that rises above the earth and lives, quite literally, closer to the sky. The Amazon's fiercest tribe, Korubo. In the dense, suffocating green of the Amazon, where every step could hide a predator and every shadow could be a trap, there is a tribe that has made the jungle not just their home, but their fortress. They are the Korubo, one of the most isolated and feared tribes on Earth. They want no contact, no trade, no missionaries, no cameras. And when strangers come too close, they don't send warnings, they send arrows. For the Korubo, survival is war, but it's also balance. They hunt monkeys, wild boars, and fish using handmade blowguns tipped with deadly poison. Their aim is so precise, they can hit moving targets from shocking distances, silently, fatally. And yet, they live by a simple rhythm. A few hours of work each day, then food, music, rest. They paint their skin red with plant dye, sleep together in large communal longhouses called malokas, and raise their children with equal responsibility between men and women. No chiefs, no kings. Decisions are shared. Respect is earned through wisdom and skill, not dominance. They've killed government officials. They've vanished into the forest for decades, and yet they aren't savage. They're sovereign. Their refusal to engage isn't cruelty. It's a defense against disease, exploitation, and a world that has never been kind to tribes like theirs. To meet the Korubo is nearly impossible, and maybe that's how it should stay. Because for them, survival doesn't mean changing who they are. It means remaining unseen, untouched, and utterly free. the Mudmen of Papua New Guinea. In the misty highlands of Papua New Guinea, where spirits are as real as shadows and legends walk beside the living, there's a tribe that learned long ago. Fear can be a weapon, and silence can be louder than war cries. They are the Aghori Mudmen, warriors who fight not with brute force, but with ghostly illusion. It began, they say, after a crushing defeat in battle. The surviving warriors fled into the swamp, hiding among reeds and mud as night fell. But when they emerged at dusk, covered in gray sludge, their eyes hollow and wide, their enemies didn't see men. They saw spirits, and they ran in terror. The Aghori never forgot. Today, they still smear their bodies in river mud and wear towering handcrafted masks with monstrous faces. Eyes bulging, mouths twisted, horns reaching skyward like creatures from a nightmare. During ritual dances, they move slowly, eerily, like the dead brought back to life. They twitch, they freeze, they swat at invisible flies drawn to their rotting flesh. It's performance, it's theater, it's war. The masks serve more than intimidation. They connect the Mudmen to their ancestors, to the spirit world. Each one is sculpted from clay, baked in fire, and passed down like a sacred relic. In a world of bullets and bombs, the Aghori remind us that sometimes the most powerful weapon isn't steel. It's story. It's art. It's the chilling feeling that what you're facing might not be human at all. The island that time forgot, Sentinelese. In the middle of the Indian Ocean, hidden behind turquoise reefs and guarded by silence, there lies a small island where time simply stopped. No roads, no buildings, no outsiders, just jungle, and one of the last truly uncontacted tribes on Earth. They are the Sentinelese. For over 60,000 years, they've lived in complete isolation, resisting every attempt the modern world has made to reach them. Helicopters have flown overhead, boats have tried to approach, and every time the answer has been the same. Arrows in the air, spears in the sand. To the Sentinelese, we are the danger, not the other way around. They live by the sea, hunting fish with hand-carved spears, paddling dugout canoes over coral reefs. They have no written language, no electricity, no metal tools. At least none they didn't scavenge from shipwrecks long ago. And yet, they survived the 2004 tsunami, when entire coastlines around them were destroyed. No radar, no early warning systems, just instinct, passed down through thousands of years of listening to the earth. In 2018, an American missionary attempted to reach them. He was killed within hours. His story made headlines. But the Sentinelese? They vanished back into the forest, untouched, unmoved, unchanged. Today, the Indian government enforces a strict no-contact policy, not to punish them, but to protect them, because one virus, one bacteria, one handshake could erase an entire world. A world where history has no timeline, where humanity exists as it once did, long before cities, borders, or nations. The Sentinelese remind us that not every mystery needs solving, and not every door should be opened.